my question is this, ready? If all the top NFL quarterbacks were using, I don't know, throwing cream of rice bags instead of footballs, maybe people would start throwing cream of rice bags. But if all the worst people in the whole world were throwing cream of rice bags, doesn't mean that you should. Same thing applies to booty bands. That's fine. So I came right from the gym to the store because the snow was so bad, and I didn't want to show up late because I feel like an asshole showing up late to my own store.
Yeah, right.
So I had almost no food with me, and apparently my address is not on Grubhub yet.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I actually had to write in the notes, deliver to Chuck E. Cheese because Chuck E. Cheese is down the street, and we're like, I'm not Chuck E. Cheese. I'm Aries Nutrition. Please bring it here.
So did you end up getting your food?
Yeah, I ordered a bunch of steamed chicken and broccoli, and a side of steamed rice. Realistically, you can always kind of get your food in, no matter where you're at. If you have access to some type of mobile ordering app, you can always get steamed chicken and rice.
Yeah, that was low key Coach Marky V's way of saying no excuses, but you told your own personal story and tried to sneak that lesson in there. That was so clever. Bro, straight up, I love that.
Also true, though.
This is the truth, man. This is the truth. Mark, I'm taking some Kratom here. Don't get mad at me.
Okay. I'm drinking more caffeine here.
So we do, baby. So we do. All right. So
all over my computer.
Oh no, we need that computer. That's not good. You want to like wipe it off? We're good. All right, cool. Beautiful. All right, I'm open to the comments. Fam, if anyone has any questions, comments, commentary, concerns about today's Coaches Banter topic, please leave it in the comments. If anyone wants to schedule a call with us so they can speed up their metabolism, lose fat, and keep it off, schedule a call with us by shooting us a message. Anyway, Coach Mark UV, let's talk about social media. What we're streaming this Coaches Banter to. Let's talk about social media's deleterious effect on fitness goals.
For those who doesn't know what that word means, like I didn't know, it means bad effects.
Damn it. Deleterious, like deleting.
When you say it that way, it makes sense.
Someone just said pre-workout came out of Mark's nose and he's going to want to smell everything. And we got Robert Jenner here, who's here. Hashtag live. What's up, Robert Jenner? Robert Jenner, we are proud of you. Robert Jenner, I woke up this morning for yoga. I was expecting to see you there, bro. But anyway, guys, all right. So we're talking about social media's negative effects on fitness goals. So, Mark, why don't you go ahead? Tell me, what's your take?
So, I feel like one of the big issues that social media does when it comes to this, especially when you follow some influencers or possibly some athletes, and as you know from doing this, like me and you have the ability to transform our body much quicker than the average person, just because we've been doing this for a long time. The muscle maturity that we have. And realistically, I guess you would say like I don't want to say sense of willpower, but when you've done this multiple times, it's much easier to do it. Kind of like anything else in life.
It's conditioning,
so,
yeah.
Like, when they see someone transform from looking like somewhat fluffy in their off season to being fully shredded like to 5 or 6% body fat in like 2 to 3 months, it makes people feel like it's physically possible for most people. Mm-hmm. And like, oh yeah, like oh, I can definitely get beach ready in 3 months, or I can lose my COVID-20 and be diced in 3 months. When in reality, it's not really feasible for most of the population.
Right. Because ultimately there's a level of metabolic conditioning that's occurred as a result of having so much muscle and just being super consistent for X amount of years. So yes, the 16 weeks is possible because the many years before that, right? And I mean, like you said, that applies to anything in life. Like a consultant that's charging $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour. I mean, they're charging $500 and $1,000 an hour for the knowledge they have at the time. That knowledge took many, many years to actually acquire, so that they can be knowledgeable, enough to actually charge that, right? They have the mental capability. In this case, it's the metabolic capability, right? So yeah, I think it's definitely misleading to see the before afters, and I think it's kind of disgusting how many coaches and programs and fitness whatever tries to capitalize days, it's like, yo, come on, man, come on. So I think social media is definitely highly misleading when it comes to duration of time. What else? What else would you say social media does to people's fitness goals?
So I feel like since there's so much misinformation out there in general, that
Mm-hmm.
it makes people feel like they're not doing enough or they're doing all the wrong things in reality, when people are actually, or people online are just purposely confusing people so they can get a bigger following and get sign more clients. So like,
Right,
let's use a concept of like muscle confusion, which has been disproven every single time it's ever been studied, every
right,
time.
right,
But everyone always says like, you gotta change up your workouts, bro. Like you gotta do things different ways. You may feel sore going from like a bilateral movement to a unilateral movement, or moving across like different like planes, just because it's unique and feels different. It doesn't mean you're going to respond more.
right, right. Absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of these. Good.
I'm saying it's caused more confusion, and then people end up doing way more than they have to. And you know as well as I
Right,
do that most people who are doing a lot of the right things end up doing too many of the right things, and then they end up doing the wrong things because of it.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about right and wrong. It's about volume. It's about integration, right? Integrating your training with your nutrition. Like if you're on a low calorie diet, then your workout volume has to be way, 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 way lower than if you're eating a lot more calories. Your volume and perhaps even intensity can and will be higher with that, right? So I think that's kind of the next segue I want to go into, is like the fragmentation. And I don't know if it's necessarily the issue with social media, or if it's with the issue with the way a person perceives a process. But like what I'll see is people will be like, "Hey, I saw this influencer that I like, and she posted this booty workout, right? And they're following one diet, that's maybe higher in calories, and they're doing a booty band workout." And it's like, dude, like they don't go together, right? And so I
Yeah.
think like that's the problem, is on social media, people try to pick and choose, pick and choose, pick and choose, and put things together in a plan that's not progressive and linear, and that's not cohesive. It just doesn't work together, you know?
Yeah, it's not a la carte. You can't pick and choose kind of what you want. You kind of have to find a principle that you agree with and you think works well for your body, and then use all concepts that agree with that principle and put it all together.
Well said. Well said. This is a rant I went on. It's the girl's booty who you want, okay, didn't use her 4-week booty band workout program to get that booty. She did really, really heavy ass glute bridges for so many years, or injections,
Unless she just has God given genetics. Like that's the
or
only
genetics.
other real solution. You look at, and like, I hate bringing my sport into this, but let's bring bodybuilding into this. The bikini division of competing is, in essence, it's beauty as well as having a very well developed glute area. That's pretty much what it is.
Right.
Nice proportions with an overly developed glute area.
Mm-hmm.
None of the top competitors in the world are doing booty band workouts. So my question is this, ready? If all the top NFL quarterbacks were using, I don't know, throwing cream of rice bags instead of footballs, maybe people would start throwing cream of rice bags. But if all the worst people in the whole world were throwing cream of rice bags, it doesn't mean that you should. Same thing applies to booty bands.
Right.
They are helpful for activation,
Right.
but they should not be the foundation of your whole entire workout.
Right. 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 Yeah, it's so easy to monetize. That's the problem. It's so easy to be misleading here, right? It's like you just put out a little PDF and say, look, 4 weeks to a big booty, right? And then you show what you have. And it's like, I don't know, like where's the ethics in that? That's like where is any of the morality in that? I don't get it. Do people think that they're like benefiting others when they post these things? Or is it just they're sociopaths that want to make money? Like I don't understand.
Column A, column B.
You think it's
It's easy to lie
multi-factorial?
to yourself.
That's true.
Very easy to lie to yourself.
That's true.
It's
That's true.
very easy to say I'm helping people. I'm helping getting people closer to the goal.
Right.
Especially when you're getting rewarded financially for it. You're like, oh yeah, like I sold 300 bands today,
Right.
and they all watched my video. So like I'm helping people. And like if someone goes from doing absolutely nothing to doing a workout and following some type of plan, like there should be some type of return, right? Because we're going from zero stimulus to some stimulus. Like
Right.
if you go from sitting on your couch eating Doritos to like walking around hitting, I don't know, birds with bats, you're still gonna lose weight.
Right. But see, here's the thing, right? This is when someone says, yeah, but at least they're doing something now because of me, then
Yeah,
market it as that. See, then I'm fine with that, right? Then market it as this is the get up off your couch for beginners where you'll see some
yeah,
results, or this is something to keep your mental health good because it'll keep you active, but it won't actually create a change in your body. If you
yeah,
market it for what it is, and then fine, you can exaggerate that marketing. That's fine. That's what marketing is. But you can't lie about a result, right? And that's the thing. When we put this 30-day metabolic activation program out, like that's like the first thing that I'm going to say in my marketing video is this is going to be the single best program that you can have for 30 days. But guess what? It's not going to get you. It's not going to get your transformation. It's not going to get you, a significant amount of weight loss. This is what my clients have gone through in their first 30 days, and this is here to get you that momentum. Right. And I just don't like and if you're real about it and authentic about it, like your marketing can still sell you a lot of shit for a 30-day program and you can still be I find it very, very interesting, a little disgusting, um,
mm,
a little discouraging, um, about that.
the Um, no, but I totally agree. So, like, if realistically, your marketing is obviously designed to over exaggerate almost any result. That's in essence what it's for. But
Glorified.
like, yeah, well, realistically, exactly what you said. When it comes to over exaggerating a program to make it seem like it's much more than what it actually is, then you're in essence being unethical. You're taking advantage of a of a um of a demographic that's not informed on it.
Right.
That's
Right.
what you're doing.
Right. Absolutely. It's predatory. It's definitely predatory. I think the fitness industry has gotten a little bit predatory. Social media has made it allowed it so that it should be predatory or it's become predatory. And that's not good. The other thing is body image, man. I know this happens to a lot of my ladies. It's like they're looking at pictures of girls who are photoshopped, right? They're looking at pictures of girls who are 21, whose mommy and daddy are paying for their personal trainer, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they're it's easy for your self esteem to go when you look at all those girls, right?
Well, that's where like you have to think about like remember the Paige Hathaway scandal?
With the
So
Photoshop,
like
yeah,
yeah, like half the Shreds team was Devin Physique's the other one.
uh huh,
Um, when they actually had physical expos, when they had to actually meet fans,
right,
they were laughed at
right,
because
absolutely,
they looked nothing like they looked at it on Instagram. Nothing like it. They were all smaller. She did not have the curves that she posted online. Devin didn't have the physique that he posted online. So it was in essence outing their lie.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, if we
But
want to really get an inside look at Shreds and how gross Shreds was, huh, I could tell you the inside scoop of that whole thing later. But
exactly. No, but I again, that's why social media has been extremely damaging, more for the fitness community more than anything else. I don't think it's been helpful for most of it, besides letting it reach a larger audience.
mhm.
But beside that, it was watered down a lot of what the industry actually is, and it's only spread more disinformation. There's actually way more disinformation out there than there ever probably has ever been.
Bad information is worse than no information.
Yeah, I'd rather people just think all candy and sugar is bad for them than thinking like, oh, like bacon is 100% healthy and I can have bacon every single day and it's not going to hurt me. Or
Right,
like I can eat fried butter as long as I
right,
don't have carbs. Like I'd rather you just think like the regular generic like food pyramid thought process than think I don't know that carbs are evil or
right.
one meal per day is the best approach.
It's documentary talk, and this is what happens: is that people watch a documentary, a single documentary, okay, and they think they're experts. And what happens is they go by the first documentary they watch. I noticed
Yep.
that. So if the first one they watch has to do with anti-sugar, right? That's the one they go with. That's the lens by which they perceive reality. If the first documentary they watch is on veganism, all of a sudden that's their lens of reality, and anything else, any more information that comes in, is filtered through that lens as being the only right one, right? And then they become experts, and then they preach it on social media, right?
Yeah.
Then they preach it on social media. Then they look for other figures on social media who follow the exact same thing. They find the one that looks the best and then use that as their poster child and then continue to perpetuate that, right? And so what ends up happening is these same messages, such as muscle confusion, right? Such as creatine is the worst thing for you, it's going to kill you, right? And all
Mm-hmm.
of these other lies and lies and lies, right? That maybe have some truth to them at sometimes. At like all of the fitness industry, which is completely nuanced, right? Fitness is not a uniform binary thing. Some things are good some of the times in some contexts for some people, right? But that's what happens, is that then the wrong information gets perpetuated, gets perpetuated, and boom, we have confirmation bias galore, and that's dangerous.
No, exactly. I say after the documentary Game Changer, which is probably the documentary I hate more than any other documentary that ever existed in
Mhm.
history.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the Game Changer documentary.
Yeah, I haven't
They
seen it.
paid
I want to see it.
they paid Arnold Schwarzenegger to say that he was vegan when he competed, when he wasn't.
Ooh, come on, Arnold.
He ate 5 pounds of red meat a day when he competed.
Come on, Arnold.
He
Really?
literally openly said that. And if you watch Pumping Iron, you literally watch him eat meat throughout of it. He's vegan now
Yeah,
because he's had 3 heart surgeries.
right, right. But see, that's a lie, right? Come on.
Yeah. But the thing is this, like you took like number one, when depends who pays for your documentary too. Like when you have like funding from biased resources and stuff like that, it's obviously going to change how you guys actually like view a documentary and what sources that you're going to use. So like obviously that Game Changer documentary was all based around being plant-based is the way to go, meat's evil and only causes diseases and so on and so forth. And
Right,
you know as well as I do, everything in excess is obviously not the best for you.
right, right.
And there's obviously individual variables when it comes to all these things as well.
Absolutely.
Again, there's no one size fits all.
Right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. So Robert Jenner left a comment, and I think it's fascinating. He said, "Social media is too fast, touches too many people, and no responsibility requirement." Right, and the reason I think it's coming is fascinating from Robert Jenner, which, by the way, Mark nodded in agreement, and I full-heartedly agree. Robert, so you found us through social media, and that was actually the next topic I wanted to touch on. Is that social media also does have some incredible benefits. Like I love social media as a tool, right? So as a consumer looking for a fitness product, Robert, how are you able to sift through the noise and sift through the information to find a good fit here? Which I think is a great fit. We love you, Robert. So how did you sift through the information to find a good fit for you? And while Robert is typing his answer, Mark, like I want to kind of ask you kind of the same question, because obviously you're on social media too. Like when you are sifting through social media, how do you know what's good and how do you know what's not good for you?
So I'll go with like how I picked my coach. There's a million coaches online, million, and there's even more specifically in the bodybuilding field. And everyone posts the same progress photos and everything else like that. Well, I ended up going with my specific coach because I like the content he shared about health. I
Mm-hmm.
like that he would post actual studies. I like
Mm-hmm.
that he worked with actual people who cared about health. I liked that whenever I talked to any of his clients, they stressed about how health conscious he was for a coach. So
Right,
like those things was meant a lot to me, especially when it came to picking a coach because bodybuilding does not actually make me money; it's a hobby of mine.
right, right, right.
So
So,
I only have one body to take care of, so that's what mattered.
yeah, I think you the points you make. So one is a philosophical agreement, right, where his
Yeah,
approach was not purely just about body composition, right, and
yeah,
getting on stage, but it was about overall health, right. So it's a huge philosophical alignment, okay. And then two, as you said, academic studies, right, actually using academic research, right. So those are important lenses for you, right.
yeah.
I think that everyone's lens by which they, or value system rather, by which they select a coach is going to be different, but you need to have that established, right?
Yeah. You have
Like,
to know what you're looking for.
right. For me, accessibility is very important, right?
Mm-hmm.
And knowledge is very important. Because at the end of the day, I'm fucking like an obsessive avid reader. Like, so I need someone who's a heck of a lot smarter than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so let's see what the Robert said. I linked to the website, then Google searched for feedback, and ultimately made the first call as cautious as a used car salesman. Interesting. Interesting. What does that mean, Mark? I'm trying to interpret that.
I'm not sure.
I linked to the website, then Google searched for feedback, and ultimately made the first call as cautious as a used car salesman.
So he was cautious walking into the phone call with you. It seems like, especially
Gotcha.
because like I'm immediately turned off by used car salesmen because how shovey and pushy they typically
Got
are,
it.
to get you off the lot.
Right.
But realistically, like he came in being very cautious, and he obviously liked your message and liked your ideology and the views and the priorities we have over here. Because as much as we are a body composition change program, we're a metabolic roadmap. The goal here is to improve your BMR, not just for the few weeks or months that you're with us, but try to
Right.
keep it as permanent as possible and give you results that you can take with you and apply to the rest of your life. This is a lifestyle change. This isn't a 30-day challenge or 60-day challenge or any bullshit like that. It's
Mhm.
sustainable changes for life. What realistically is, as long as you keep up with the stuff that you're doing in the program, you can keep it.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is our biggest value proposition here. Yeah, no, super, yeah, super interesting to that, and I think that a lot of people end up working with us, not just because of the knowledge that they perceive us to have from the onset, but also because of the philosophy that they see, um, by which we operate, right? How you and I communicate, how we communicate to the world, what we actually believe in. So I think philosophical alignment and alignment in value system is super important in selecting your coach. Um, but let's talk about the benefits of social media now. So what are the benefits you would say of social media on someone's fitness goals?
It lets you connect with people. Realistically, many of the relationships I have with many of the fitness people in the fitness industry will all forge from social media to an extent. And from a business perspective, it helps you form alliances and relationships with other people that you probably would never form a relationship with or ever met in life. I'll use your buddy Will, for example.
Right,
Me and Will talk several times a week now.
right,
And Will lives across the states. I would have no reason to contact him, but we have a mutual agreement on many things when it comes to regard nutrition and training. So we pass ideas off each other. Same
right,
thing with I don't know. I can that's how realistically how me and you stay in touch over the
right.
course of the past 10 years too.
This is true. This is actually true, right? I'm not saying we wouldn't have, but it probably would have been a heck of a lot harder to be as close in touch till
Yeah,
we
you
started
wouldn't
working.
have known if I was still doing this stuff
Right,
after social media exists.
right, right. This is true, man. This is very true. Yeah. Yeah, and then to Robert, to my point before, what Robert said there is he said, I also had an idea of what I was looking for, so I was able to check my wants against the model explained, right? So it's very important that when you're searching for any kind of solution, that you have a value system, that you have a set of principles by which you're actually scoping these things out, right? That's critical. But yeah, in terms of benefits, definitely, I think connection. I also think information, right? I mean, I think that there's a lot of knowledgeable people on social media, and that's why it's such a double-edged sword. It's like there's so much bullshit, but then there's also so much good stuff. I have
Mm.
gotten a lot of good information from social media.
Yeah, if you know who to listen to and who to follow, it's very helpful.
That's the key. That's the key. So okay. So then, if someone is on their fitness journey and obviously they're not as necessarily informed as us, like, what's your advice to them as far as how to actually leverage social media as a productive tool and make sure that it doesn't become something destructive in their journey?
I guess figure out why certain people who they are on social media. If
Right.
you're an influencer just because you have a nice ass and that's it, probably not the wisest person to take advice from.
That's true.
But let's say I hate using my sport again, but I feel like it's a credential builder to an extent.
100%.
Well, like if you are a 5-time Olympian for a specific category, whatever it is, obviously if you've shown that you've been able to put enough work in to get to where you want to go, so that's definitely applicable for your credentials to an extent. It'd be like saying, hey, like Tom Brady is not the best person to take throwing advice from, but obviously he is.
Right. Right. Yeah. So credentials are really important. I think quality of post is really important. Right. I think I try to look out for people that overly flex. So for example, like business coaches standing in front of Lamborghinis, like I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like that's just like not a mature audience at all. They're trying to flex something that I don't really care for. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think some maturity is important to look for. Um, I would say delete Instagram. If there's any one channel to delete, I would delete Instagram if you're on the fitness journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly like using it as fuel. I like to see who I'm competing against. But beside that,
But you're also
that's
enlightened
kind of.
enough.
Hmm?
You're also enlightened enough to know what's bullshit and what's not.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
You know. So cool, man. Mark, this was fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I have to run. But till next time, take
Ciao.
care.
Are you tired of trying to figure out how to lose weight and keep it off? And maybe you've tried every fad diet, worked with a trainer, did this program, that program, and you haven't gotten anywhere? Well, one, I feel for you. And 2, the good news is I've worked with thousands of people over the course of the past decade in helping them speed up their metabolism so that they can lose weight, keep it off, and have a proven system they can take with themselves for the rest of their life. So what I want you to do is DM me the word metabolism, and someone on my team will reach out to you and schedule a call where you can come up with a custom plan for you, your life, your goals, and your schedule. All right, there's gonna be no selling on this call. All we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out all the factors that affect you, help you speed up your metabolism, and get you on the path. So whenever you're ready, DM me the word metabolism, and we will reach out.